Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gregory and today I'll be taking a look at three lenses, and these are the Nifty 50 with a 1.8 aperture, the kit lens that comes with the M50 which is a 15 to 45 millimeter lens, and finally the 22 millimeter f2 pancake lens. Okay, so let's get started with the 22 millimeter pancake lens which comes in at f2. Now I love this lens because I can actually keep the camera real close to me. Right now it is about 3 feet away from me on my Canon M50, which has a crop sensor that will equate to about a 35 millimeter. The crop sensor is going to crop in just a little bit, so it's not a true 22 millimeter, but I still love it because it gives me that feel like it's not too far away from me and it's not too close. If I reach out, it's right here. See? So that's just an example. Now I love this lens because it has autofocus. It does not have image stabilization, but I really don't need it while doing these type of videos because it is actually on a tripod. So this is how the 22 millimeter will look when using it for video or recording videos for YouTube. Alright, let's try the 50 millimeter. Now the camera is at least 8 feet away from me, 7 to 8 feet away from me, and I don't know about you, but I love the compression that it gives it behind me, like the blurry background, and it's autofocus. It's absolutely on point. When I move my head like this, it's following my every move. The only problem with this lens when I'm using it as is right now is because it's so far away. I can't touch it. Again, it's like 7 to 8 feet away from me, but I love the way how it actually compresses my background, or compresses or gives that bokeh behind me and makes everything blurry. To actually use this 50 millimeter lens on my M50, you would need a EFM adapter to actually connect this. This camera actually uses M series lens, and Nifty 50 is actually an EF lens, so you have to get that EFM adapter to actually let it work. Now let's switch over to the 15 to 45 kit lens and see how that works out. And this is the 15 to 45 kit lens. Now the first thing you will notice is that I am far away at 50 millimeters, and this is at f3.5. The higher you go, as in the closer you zoom in, the f-stop is going to get larger, which means that there's not going to be enough light to come in to the lens, which means I would have to crank up my light, my key light right here, to let's say 100, and this is the result. And then after brightening my key light, the camera is still the camera is still about 7 to 8 feet away from me, which means it can be brought in at 15 millimeters right close up to me. So let's try that. Now this is after I brought it up close to me, and it's doing pretty well. The only problem is I had to brighten my light, bring up my ISO to 400, and my f-stop is now at f4. Now the difference is higher ISO mean that it will give you more grain. The lower your ISO, you know, there's less noise. You know, f4 means that there's not a lot of light coming in, which in this case I had to brighten my key light so it would get enough light to light the scene. Now each lens has its purpose. The Nifty 50, I think it's a great B-roll camera. I think it's excellent when it comes to B-roll. I think it's excellent in shooting portrait photography and giving you that nice bokeh effect with that 1.8 aperture. I think the kit lens has its place. It's a very good vlogging camera. You have to make sure you have enough light coming into your lens to light the scene. With the pancake lens, it's good. It's f2, so you don't have to crank up your light super bright. It's super fast, has autofocus. All three lenses have their place, so it depends on what your situation is. If you're filming B-roll, if you're filming, you know, if you want the camera to give you that, or your background to have that bokeh effect, then you have to go with a lens that is at least 1.8, and depending on what type of camera you have to consider the crop factor. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I have these cameras. I wasn't sponsored by Canon, but I just really wanted to help everybody out there, because I was struggling at first to figure out which lens I should start using to vlog. But the truth is, you just have to just start. You know, it doesn't matter which camera lens you use. It could be the 15 to 45, it could be the 22, it could be the 50. You just have to make it work. You know, in whatever tight situations, if you have the space, just hit record and get it done. And this is what I'm doing. I will make more videos. Tell me what you think in the comments, and also just hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. See you later. Bye.